Hello everyone, I'm Bishi, and today we are playing some more of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We are still in the first game, and we are in Chapter 3. We're actually in the middle of Chapter 3, so I have my Ace Attorney notes open, and hoping that that will help me. Because I haven't played it in, what's it been, like, maybe a couple weeks, so I'll have to get back into it and hopefully I'll be okay. But yes, I try to take extensive notes so I do okay the next time I pop back into it. But anyway, we shall be doing that today, and we are also sponsored today. We are sponsored by Babbel, which is a language learning app and website. You're just in time for Ace Attorney. Let's do it. All right. My goodness. My goodness. Let me make sure that audio's good. Yes. Okay. So, we're just hopping right into it. We are in the very, very middle of a case. I didn't find a great stopping point last time, so we're just kind of at the beginning of another testimony. I do have my notes here from last time. I take notes on Ace Attorney because I've gotten stuck too many times. The last thing I said was 2 witnesses insist there was blood on both hands, which is this guy and the one on the right, I think. But the thing is that the gloves that they have as evidence are only one of them is bloody. So that's an inconsistency there, a contradiction. And then the only person who actually like witnessed the murder taking place was this guy. Fair play. Let's see. So there was inconsistencies with the gloves, and then there was inconsistencies with where they saw the guy get stabbed. So one of them thought that he was in the chair, and one of them thought he was on the floor. So another contradiction there. But yeah, aside from that, I'm just gonna hop into it, and hopefully things come back to me. Hopefully. My gosh. Love these stooges. Oh my goodness. I think this guy is like a cute little old man, you know? I think he is lying about some things, but did I not say welcome in, Caramel? I just remembered that you popped in earlier. Where was your message? Oh my god. Did I not say hello? I don't think I did. I'm so sorry. I saw you with my eyeballs. You said, oh, hello. Yes. Welcome in, Caramel. I'm so sorry. I always feel so bad. I'll remember like an hour later sometimes. I'll be like... Or not even saying hello, but like reading a message. I'll read it with my brain, but I won't say it out loud and react to it. And I always feel so bad. But anyway, welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. Highly suspect witness or murderer, right? We'll have to see. I have no idea who the murderer could be at this point. No idea. I know it doesn't have Japanese yet, but that's fine. I can learn Portuguese. Yeah, I think there's a lot of other wonderful languages on there too, that we could all learn. Yeah, no backseating unless I ask for help at the moment. The murderer is someone. Somebody. Okay, and I do have some theories going already about what's going on, but... Okay. Let's see. There was blood on both hands of the assailant. I sincerely and distinctly remember that. However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment the stabbing transpired, if that matters. Okay, so that's, I think, new information. Okay, so the banker didn't see the moment of the stabbing. I take notes on everything, because sometimes you need the most, like, tiny detail to figure out, like, a puzzle. I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both of the attacker's hands with blood on them. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be doing accents right now. I'm a little discombobulated. I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both of the attacker's hands with blood on them. I'll get it right, eventually. Okay. Yeah, both of the hands. Okay. I didn't actually see anything myself. No, not until I heard that scream. Anyway, the fact remains. There can't have been anyone else inside that carriage, or we all would have seen. Okay. Well, lo and behold. In truth of fact, not one of you was witness to the crucial moment the crime was perpetrated. I apologize, my lord, but honestly... Oh, there was no one else inside that carriage, and the man's hands were covered in blood. I think it's so funny how he's gnawing on this walking stick, just crunching on it like a gerbil, like a hamster. Look at that, he's biting the whole thing. That much incriminating evidence is tantamount to saying we saw the man do it. Sir, your teeth, right? That's really not what testimony is about. Let us examine the interior of the omnibus once more. All right. The victim's fresh blood is clearly visible on the seat, corroborating the witnesses' accounts. In other words, there is no substantial nor significant change in the facts of the case. Very well. Your cross-examination, please, counsel. Yes, my lord. All right. Cross-exam. Cross-exam. With Mr. Vampire Man across from us. Are you sure the murderer is somebody? Maybe he just died. Just spontaneously stabbed by the air. Oh my god. This is a series that made you cross-examine a parrot and... Oh, I don't remember that. Examine a parrot. I remember that one. Okay, what the witnesses really saw. Oh my goodness! What happened? Anonymous! Thanks so much for gifting a sub. Thank you, thank you. Let me get a star in the jar for that gift sub. Or Safari. Let me just press a button so there's some music. I don't like the silence. Okay. Here is the star going in the jar. Thank you very much. That gifted subber now has access to all of our emotes and our sound effects and stuff like that. And let me see. The murderer is someone who breathes. That's what we know. Welcome in, Bipolar Molar. Genshin came out with a new character that I think kind of looks like you, named Baizu. Let me go look that up. Baizu. Oh, with the glasses. Well, thank you. I think they're pretty cute, so I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. I like their hair color, too. Oh, you know what? Yeah, my hair is kind of like that green teal color right now because it's washed out. Oh my god, that's funny. I didn't even connect that. I was like, well, my hair is pink, but it's okay. And I was like, wait a second. It's not pink right now. Oh my goodness. Thank you, I appreciate that. I like their pet snake. They have like a pet snake. Like their hair, yeah. Judge Santa sends you to jail and the naughty list. Yeah, I thought he looked so much like Santa. I can't keep up like a Santa voice though. I'm like, no, it's too much work. I'm glad I don't even remember what happens in this case, so I don't feel the need to backseat. But there you go. Gave me Bishi vibes. Oh. His teeth constantly grow like rabbits for his own health. He just regenerates them. Oh my god. Let's see. Oh, the whale is a DLC case. Okay, yeah, I didn't know about that. I've only played the original trilogy, and I haven't seen anything else aside from what I've seen so far in Chronicles. I'm kind of holding out hope that eventually they will bring more of the Ace Attorney games to console, because that's really the only way I could play it, other than like being on the 3DS, because I don't stream from a 3DS. It's PC or console for me, baby. That's it. So I'm really hoping they bring more of them to the platforms I can stream from, you know? So We'll see. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. I saw a post in an Ace Attorney meme thread that showed Mr. Dracula in a deleted pose where he lounges full body on the stand, and I wish he did it for real. Oh my god. What's up with the old man on the left? I think he's cold or needs to sit down. I worry for him. He is freezing cold. He is freezing cold for some reason. Let's see. Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice are really good. Yeah, I know that there's a lot of other amazing Ace Attorney games that I would love to stream. I'm like holding out hope that hopefully they go on something that I can stream from. So I'm purposely not playing them yet. I'm like, maybe. He needs another coat, I know. I feel sorry for him despite being fictional. I mean the old man being fictional, not that I am fictional. I unfortunately am very real. Why is that unfortunate? Oh no. Bad circulation, yeah. Alright, there was blood on both hands of the assailant. I sincerely and distinctly remember. Well, let's press. No, the evidence tells us otherwise. We have the gloves the defendant was wearing on the night in question in the court record. I'm well aware of that, sir, but nevertheless, I know what I saw and I stand by it. The man had blood on both his hands. He's defiant, even in the face of hard evidence. He's steadfastly refusing to admit that he might be mistaken about what he saw. But why? Your reasoning is dire. One hand or two, the salient point remains unchanged. Minutes after the grim crime, the victim's blood dripped guiltily from the accused's fingers. Accused. Bishi doesn't know how to say words. However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment it happened. Hold it! Don't try to downplay this. Whether or not you saw the exact moment of the crime is a matter of fundamental importance, as well you know. But for crying out loud, we all know that no one else could possibly have done it. I was just trying to save us all some time. Sure. You have a loan of 20 guineas outstanding with the defendant, do you not? Had you hoped to release yourself from that financial burden by ensuring the defendant was found guilty? That's not what I was hoping for. I just lost a little guinea or 10 when I backed the wrong horse in the Derby, that's all. I was going to win it all back. There's a fixture this weekend that's a sure thing. Huh. A little guinea or 10? I'm a banker. No one bats an eye if I borrow a little spending money for the weekend. Borrowing from your, customers? I think you may have revealed rather more about your character than you bargained for, sir. This witness's scruples are not on trial here. But they might make people doubt his word. Proceed to the next witness. Is that really how it's supposed to work? I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both of the attacker's hands with blood on them. Hold it! 20 guineas is about 30k. 30k! That's a lot of money. Oh, God. I know it's not everyone's favorite, but I really want Apollo Justice. I want to play Apollo Justice, you know? I want to play all the Ace Attorney games that I can. DD has... I'm not even gonna read it. I'm not gonna read it! Y'all are naughty today. Thank you so much for the follow. Beautiful objection. As opposed to Beautiful Joe. Thank you so much for that follow. Carry on. My goodness. Aw, just got back from a doctor's appointment and went through it. As a reward, I got to go eat some ramen. Nice, nice. Mama Gina. Oh my goodness. Apollo Justice is the best I've played so far. Really good in my opinion. Yeah, I haven't heard anything bad about it, honestly. Yes, and then there's like fan-made cases too. Welcome in, beautiful. Welcome. Okay, let's see. You definitely saw that too. Blood on both hands. Yes, sir. I mean, I know what you're going to say. Sorry. I don't know what I'm gonna say. Only one of Mr. McGuilded's gloves has any signs of blood on it. That's right. The thing is, as far as I remember, sir, when I looked down and saw Mr. McGuilded sitting beside the other fellow, I don't believe he was wearing any gloves, sir. He wasn't wearing these gloves? That's correct, sir. And I saw the blood on both his bare hands quite clearly. It's true that the dark-colored stain on the dark leather gloves wouldn't have been easy to see. I should point out that the police officer who apprehended the accused on the night in question reported that there was no trace of blood on Mr. McGuilded's gloved hands. Okay, there wasn't blood on his hands? So he's kind of helping us out there, right? Surprisingly. Okay, so... let's see. Confirmed there was no blood on... let's see. McGuilded? What did I say for him? MG or something? His hands... only on the glove, I guess is what they're saying, right? How are you enjoying the game so far? I've been loving it so far. I'm kind of a recent fan of Ace Attorney. I got into it a couple years ago when I started the main trilogy, and I had so much fun with that. And while I was playing through it, this game came out, so I was really, really excited to have even more Ace Attorney to play. And that I am playing it, I'm having a great time. I am in the 3rd case, so I'm still pretty early on in the first game. But I'm loving it a lot, honestly. Catching up with y'all. Hold on. I always have to scroll up and like find where I left off. It takes me a second. We're just talking about Spirit of Justice. Spirit of... Pounds the gavel. Oh my God. Of Clustus. Instead of Justice, yes. There you go. Oh my God. What I like about the prosecutors in the Ace Attorney games are that they're also trying to see the truth, or seek the truth, not trying to beat your ass, even if that's what it seems like at first. Have fun, this duology is a treat. Yeah, I've heard great things about it, and I mean, the mechanics are so much better than the main trilogy. Because I know, like, there's a lot of games between that and this game, but I haven't played any of them. I've only played the original 3 games, and now this. So the jump in quality was very steep, but I've been really enjoying that, you know? Like the 3D rendering and animations and stuff. Herlock is a pretty fun character, too. We haven't seen him in this case yet, though, so I don't know. We shall see. Alright, this is puzzling indeed. This must be significant somehow. I'm sure of it. Alright. I didn't actually see anything myself, not until I heard the scream.
Hold it!
You didn't see anything? Oh, yes, sir. That is to say, no, sir, I didn't. Very sorry about what I said before, sir. Very sorry, yes. It was very wrong of me to make up stories and say I saw him stab the man. Wouldn't you agree, sir? I know what you're insinuating, but I certainly wasn't making up stories. Still, to say you saw nothing isn't right either, is it? No, sir. I saw nothing at all. Mr. Beppo. Mr. Beppo! I like saying his name. You were driving your horses. At the very least, you must have enjoyed a good view of London streets, no? No? Oh, please. You didn't even see the hat? It was so cold that night, you see. It was all I could do to keep from passing out, sir. Yes, my head was fairly frozen solid. Sorry to say, sir. It would seem prudent to avoid travel on the last omnibus service of London's cold winter nights. Beppo! Ah! Anyway, the fact remains, there can't have been anyone else inside the carriage, or we all would have seen. Hold it! And everything you saw of the incident was through the skylight on the roof of the omnibus? That's right. It was fiercely cold that night, but the glass wasn't frosted over. Oh yes, I remember I was shivering. It was so bitter. Which rather begs the question of why the pair of you were sitting on the roof deck in the first place. Well, I don't know about this young fellow, but I couldn't enter the cabin. Oh? Why not? It was locked from the inside. I tried knocking, but no one opened the door. Okay. So banker says cabin was locked from inside. Okay. It was locked? That's right. That's right. And it's a public bus service, for pity's sake. That's not what I call fair play. Okay, so he wanted to go into the cabin because it was so cold when he first boarded, but it was locked. Okay, locked from the inside when he tried to board. All right. I look at chat, and the first thing I read is, did fursuits exist back then? In 1800s. Oh my god. Prehistoric fursuits. Herlock, where are you, my love? What are you doing here, Beppo? Get out of here, Beppo! Herlock is discombobulating someone somewhere. Bailiff, hand this man a blanket. All this fire around here and this man is still cold. I will name a Korok Beppo and no one will stop me. It's a very cute name for like a little creature, I feel like. He needs an iron supplement. He also needs a heating pad, maybe a living, breathing, furry one. Oh, like a pet cat. Yeah. Oh my god. They had fur coats. Very different. Fursuits are just contemporary suits of armor. Technically, fursuits have existed since 3000 BC in Egypt if you count Anubis masks. Y'all sometimes make me speechless. Although I would argue, okay, I would argue that a fursuit must encapsulate the entire body to be a fursuit, because suit implies the whole, so a mask and the body. So like I would think, oh, well, they had like some of the first mascots for like businesses at some point, right? Disneyland had like mascots at some point. I don't know if they were the first ones to think of that, but you know, maybe something like that would technically be the first fursuit. Oh, that's more like wearing cat ears. Oh my gosh, yeah, maybe. Thank you so much for that raid. Save Data Team. Thank you so much for that raid. Welcome in. Can we get a shout out for them, please? How was your stream? What were you doing? Or were y'all hanging out, playing, or enjoying? You don't have to be playing a video game to be on Twitch. You have to remember that. But you were playing a video game, you were playing Humanity. I've been thinking of checking that out. It looked really, really interesting when I first saw it, like a trailer for it. Welcome in, y'all. Oh, and Wolf has redeemed something. I'll do that in a second. Hope it's going well. We streamed the game a bunch and wanted to drop the love off with someone else. Oh, nice, nice. I've been loving Chronicles so far. It is a super, super good time. I'm glad you're also playing it. I'm kind of a new fan to Ace Attorney. I played the whole trilogy, but that's it. And then I started playing this one, so I'm new here, but hey, Leprechaun, welcome in. Howdy. Yeah, speaking of, oh gosh. All right, I have to go full Nya now. I have to go full Nya. Wolf has redeemed full Nya, which means I have to wear cat ears and cat gloves. And also, we're sponsored today. By the way. Sponsored by Babbel. Oh my god, which way do these gloves go? Okay, now the thing is, my gloves and my ears don't match because I just acquired them through different ways. The gloves I actually got in like one of those crate boxes that you subscribe to, and it just happened to have one. I was like, oh, that's cute. And then I got the ears on purpose, just to have cat ears. You know, for like cat characters, cosplay, stuff like that. But yeah, there you go. Here are my gloves. They're gray, so I'm like, I have black ears and then gray paws, okay? That's a thing. Cats can have different colors. All right. Oh my god. Well, welcome in, Raiders. Howdy. Like I said, Humanity looks really, really interesting. I kind of want to play it, but I haven't gotten to it yet. But I hope you had a wonderful stream, and I really appreciate that raid. Welcome in, all of you. For all of you new folks in here, my name is Bishi. I should have started with that, huh? My name is Bishi, and I play lots of different kinds of games here. We're playing Chronicles right now. I also play it on Fridays. I'm also playing through Like a Dragon Ishin. I am a huge fan of the Yakuza series, so that's also another series I play. But I'm also a huge fan of lots of different games. I love Zelda. I've been playing Kingdom on my own lately since it came out. I've streamed Resident Evil, I've played Katamari, Pikmin, even Animal Crossing, just kind of all over the board. I'll play a scary game and I'll play a super wholesome game, you know. I like all kinds of stuff, so yeah. But that's what we're playing through at the moment, these two games, Ishin and Chronicles. Well, thanks so much for that follow. Penguins? A plethora of penguins. That's an amazing username. I love birds, by the way. I am obsessed with birds, so I also love penguins. Welcome in. We're also having a conversation about what was the first fursuit in history. I did not bring up this topic, though. Just... that just happened to be, and that's why they redeemed this. They're making me wear my cat stuff because of that, so... That's why. Let's see. Humans change with time, but some things stay the same. I would not be surprised to see century-old conversations similar to these. I mean, yeah. Just an antiquated speak, you know? Ye old fursuit. Oh my god. Babbel will help you learn the language of Nya. I can't promise that. Oh my god. In my house, being a cat also means begging for food a full 2 hours before mealtime and acting cute to get treats. Speaking of which, I need to feed my cat later. There you go. Off you go. Today I learned Bishi is a calico. Aw. That's cute. Ye old uwu. Yes. Perfect. You never bring up the furry topics. It's never on me. Never. Would plague doctors count as bird furries? Now you've got the right idea. Pokemon Queen. We even brought up Anubis masks in ancient Egypt. But I feel like a fursuit. Now, if we're just talking about a furry, then maybe Plague Doctor would count in some way. But we were specifically thinking, like, what was the first fursuit in existence? Like, when did that happen? And I was thinking probably the first mascot. You know what I mean? It has to be more than just a mask. Yes, yes, they would. There you go. Oh my god. But yeah, we're also playing some Ace Attorney today. Let me get back to it for a little bit. Let's see. That's right, and it's a public bus service. Yeah, so that's not what I call fair play. Yes, I had exactly the same experience. I tried knocking, but the gent inside just gestured at me to clear off. So I had no choice but to climb up to the roof deck and look down longingly into the warm cabin below. Well, I can assure you I wasn't just looking down, I was glaring, long and hard. And that's precisely why I can tell you with absolute confidence that if there was anyone else at all in that cabin, I would have noticed. Unequivocal, I would say. I'm not sure about these two witnesses. Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin through the skylight? I don't think so. But I'm gonna save in case I'm wrong. Let's see. They might not have been able to. Allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. You were riding this omnibus. and witness the events in the cabin through the skylight in the floor of the upper deck. Is that right? That's right, yes. In that case, there is a portion of the cabin interior that would have been out of sight from you. Oh, I didn't think about that. Okay, so for witnesses above the skylight, there's a portion of the cabin inside that wouldn't have been visible. Okay. Got it. Taking my notes. It helps so much. What? By golly, really? Obviously, at this stage, we can't say for sure. But the possibility cannot be denied. That at the time of the incident, there could have been another passenger in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus.
Objection!
Enough hypothetical meandering. My Nipponese friend. The prosecution demands that you substantiate your claims. After all, the scene of the crime is here, in the flesh. I love this song. Very well, I will uphold the prosecution's demand. Yeah, I mean, I feel like they wouldn't have been able to see the chair in the back inside, and that's actually where there's a compartment in the seat that someone could have been hiding in. That's my theory. My game theory. You will identify the area on this cross-sectional plan of the omnibus. Okay. Where exactly in the omnibus are you suggesting that this potential extra passenger could have been situated? Oh, that would be right here. Because they were sitting here, right? Let me make sure. Yeah, they were sitting in the back, because otherwise they wouldn't have seen anything at all from there. So they can't see this. I hope I get it on the right spot here.
Take that!
Okay. Sometimes it's very particular. Both rows of seats on the roof face in the direction of travel, whereas the seats in the enclosed cabin face each other, which means the visible part of the cabin, which passengers on the roof deck can see through the skylight, is as I've drawn here. Yep. Ah. That's right, my lord. As you can see, the seat opposite the one on which the victim and his attacker were sitting is obscured from view. In other words, if someone had been sitting on that seat, it's quite possible that these witnesses would have been completely unaware of it. Completely unaware! Okay, so let me write that down too. Let's see. Yeah, the portion that was not visible was the rear seats inside the cabin where the compartment is. I remember that from last time. Okay, there we go. Catch up with y'all. A Spanish side note, a thing some Spanish-speaking LGBT plus folks do tend to use the letter E, or E, for pronouns, so if you struggled with that, now you have a way to say it. It's cool beans if you're LGBT plus and not a fan. Yeah, that's the thing too, like, so much of our community has their own ways that they prefer to be referred to as, or refer to other people as. There's just a lot of diversity in that, and language is so flexible that it has room for that to happen, you know? Oh my god, there's a cave painting in Lascaux with a shaman dressed up as a deer doing a little dance. I think it's like 15 to 20,000 years old. Oh my goodness. The first fursuit. So instead of Latino or Latina, it would be Latine or Latin. I wish we could do that in real life. Save at a moment and go back if we make a mistake. Oh my god, we were actually talking extensively about that yesterday. That's so funny. We were talking about it so much yesterday. We were like, what would be the repercussions of this? Like time loops and butterfly effect. Well, we were just playing Ishin, you know? But sometimes we have like interesting conversations even while I'm, you know, running around being a samurai in a video game. But yeah, it's also like, if you are just resetting things all the time, then you could just do whatever you want and it wouldn't matter as much. You know what I mean? Like there's more meaning. Someone brought that up yesterday. There's more meaning if you, can't reset things, but yeah. In awkward conversations, it'd be nice. You could just rewind and not be awkward, but you know. Would have hit the reset button long ago. Animal mascots are a very new thing, like 1930s at the earliest. Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't think it went back that long ago. The earliest mascot was a dog for Chicago Cubs. Oh, there you go. Historical animal costumes, Google for the answer and or nightmare fuel. Yeah. Google at your own, oh, what's the word? At your own risk. At your own risk. I like how they wheeled the entire two-story carriage in there. I know, right? It's like, oh, well, here's the crime scene right in front of us on wheels. Courtrooms are always ridiculous, I know. It's so funny, though. The original Mickey Mouse costume. That's what I was thinking of when I was like, oh, the first fursuit. It was like, oh, no. Oh, no, that one was scary. Posted some photos. Oh, God. Horror tag. Oh, okay, usually Latine. Latine, okay. But Latin is always an option too. Okay. So just like not having the at the end. Yeah, big thing in my corporate world experience is Latinx. Yes, that's what I've heard a lot. Yeah. Not everybody likes it, you know? The war of resetting. Peril. Reset at your own peril. Discretion. Yeah, discretion, risk, peril. Quite possible that these witnesses would have been completely unaware of it. Grr! Grr!
Objection!
It's quite possible some phantom was sitting there. You Nipponese have a forbidding habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity. I concur with the prosecution's rejoinder. Rejoinder? In a British court of law, evidence is paramount. I cannot entertain this conjecture, counsel. That is, unless you're able to put a name to this mysterious passenger to whom you allude. What? I have no idea who it could be right now. What do you mean? It's the vampire. It's all his fault. Can you, Mr. Naruhodo? I honestly don't know. Who could it have been? Who could have been in the other seat, which was out of sight from the witnesses on the roof deck? Strong heart! Okay, well, we're arguing that it was not McGuilded. I mean, these are the only people we have. It wasn't Beppo! Like, big brain theory could be that Bruce is like getting these two in on it, and he actually was the one that did it to frame him and get him in prison. But like, that would be just ignoring all the, you know, stuff we've been talking about so far with the witness's testimony. I'm tempted to say I don't know, because honestly, if it made me choose someone on this list, I don't think it's anyone here. I think we haven't seen them yet. Because this is the victim. This is the Lord Chief Justice who gave us the job, so I don't think it's him. This is like the only other person it could be. And then these three were the witnesses that are just there. So, I don't know. They'd all have to be in on it, maybe. If one of them did it, and then lied about them not being inside the cabin and it being locked, etc., etc. I'm gonna say I don't know, just because I did save. We'll just see what happens. Ugh, I have literally no idea. But as a proud citizen of the Japanese Empire, you will look to the sky and walk on, making sure all signs of tears are gone. Go on. This isn't just a case of going on, Miss Osako. All right then, I'll go on. The defense would like to put forward a name. What? Oh, I'm scared. You are a fool. That response was a desperate attempt by a man who has no notion of his own limitations. A toast to hard lessons not yet learned. Let us not delay, counsel. The defense is still to name the passenger in the other seat. Oh god. This could be it. This could be the chance I've been waiting for to turn the trial in my favor. On that night, on the night of the murder, the person occupying the seat in the omnibus cabin that was obscured from view was... I have no freaking clue. Susato, no! No! Oh, jeez. I can't even look at the evidence right now. I could load the save and look, but... I could read over my notes. That usually helps me out. That usually helps me. Oh, man. Yeah, no hints or anything yet. If I'm stuck for, like, 20 minutes... You just don't remember? Oh! Okay, I'll look at my notes. My notes might have it. Yeah, no hints quite yet. Let me see. I'm catching up with chat first, and I'll look at my notes. I'm glad I didn't do chemistry, because I would have called a polysaccharide polyamorous. A polysaccharide is a sapphic polycule. The polyamorous polyglot polyurthaned his floor. Oh. Don't you hate it when you accidentally polyurethane your floor? I don't even think I'm saying it right. Oh my god. I don't know why I've taken to say sorry, that was me whenever someone in game is accused of murder. Yeah, sorry, my bad. Oh, that was my bad. Sorry. Sorry. Ruuuvo is no match for the stare. The stare. Who discombobulated this man to death? Sorry, that was me. Oh, you just don't remember it. It was a joke. I meant you were sitting there. Oh my god. You're saying I did a murder on this day of my sponsorship with my cat ears on? With my Hola Bonita parakeet mug? Atrocious. Okay, let me use my brain now. I'm gonna look at my notes and see if anything's gonna help me here. Let's see. Okay, so I'm just gonna read all the notes whether or not they're relevant. Right-handed, McGuilded was right-handed and had a glove with blood on the right hand. Man accused of murder has no one to defend him, blah, blah, blah. The victim is the thrice-fired mason, which makes it indestructible. He was found in the omnibus, stabbed by a dagger. Died between 10 to 11 p.m. McGuilded says he fell asleep on the omnibus and woke up to Mason being stabbed and tried to help him, and that's why he has bloody glove. We have 3 witnesses. Old man was the last bus of the night, freezing cold, doesn't think the late run is worth it, 20p. Killer stabbed victim out of nowhere suddenly, and the other, the third witness screamed. Omnibus holds 8 people, 2 horses, 4 inside, 4 on top. 2 inside face each other, 2 on top face forward. Skylight shows view from above. Can't be opened. Skylight can't be opened from inside of the cabin. 2 witnesses were in the top seats, and the third witness is the driver. The great exhibition is happening in 6 months. Okay. Doesn't seem like the plan was attack. Plan was attack? Doesn't seem like the attack was planned. Seems like it happened all of a sudden, but we don't know. A small compartment across from where the 2 guys were sitting. Maybe the real killer hid in there. That's what I'm thinking, but I might be off base. The dagger has an M on it for Mason, or not Mason, for McGuilded. But maybe it was used by someone else to frame him. McGuilded is a money lender. The day of the kill was the last repayment date for the victim, which was interesting. Why would you kill your debtor? Bruce is a debtor to McGuilded. I guess if I want to go out on a limb, I'm probably just going to say Bruce, because I have no clue who else I would say. I mean, unless it's this guy, who knows? But this guy has a motive, right? He has a motive to get rid of McGuilded. This is the prosecutor. This is the Chief Justice. This is my friend. So, and then this is who we're representing, and we don't want him to be guilty. So, it seems like maybe it's just Bruce. I'm going to try Bruce. Because there's nothing in here that really, like, speaks to, oh, it's this hat guy, you know? So let's go with Bruce.
Take that!
And hope for the best. That was my first idea, but yes. Concealed in the blind spot of the cabin that night was none other than this unexpected passenger. I don't think that's right. Whatever so-called logic you use to arrive at that conclusion, it matters not, because your answer has made one thing abundantly clear. Yep, it's wrong. The real blind spot is inside your head, and it would appear to be unusually large. Huh. Could have just said that's not right. Mr. Naruhodo, our task here is to defend Mr. McGuilded. Okay, before you go into your spiel, I'm gonna look at everything again. Okay, let's see. Internal hemorrhage as a result of a single stab wound to the abdomen. What if I said the Mason himself? I'm like, The only other options are literally him, and the victim. I mean, I could say one of these two, but like, it wasn't Bruce, so why would it be one of the others? You know? And it's been established that they were all outside of the cabin. I was just going on a limb like maybe they're in on it and one of these is the murderer, you know? Oh wait, I still want to look at this. Let me see. Let's stay on the right glove. I don't know. This is like one of the times where I just have no clue here. Must be quite valuable. I mean, McGuilded fell asleep, so it could have been anybody, right? And I mean, I'm gonna try the victim. I'm not gonna look at chat for a little bit. I'm gonna try the victim and see if that's... And if that's not it, I'll probably just ask for a hint. We are working on the assumption that he is innocent of this crime. Yes, of course. Why? That must mean, then, that there was someone else inside the omnibus with Mr. McGuilded. The true culprit. That's right. Exactly what I've been... Oh, of course. So the two people sitting inside the cabin that the witnesses saw through the skylight that night, they were the victim and the real culprit. It does seem as though we've all been making a false assumption. The witnesses weren't looking at Mr. McGuilded at all, meaning he has to have been sitting somewhere else. Hold on. They are saying some interesting things right now. Only people were victim and killer. So they were looking... So McGuilded... Oh, was sitting... Oh, somewhere else. So they're saying that the people they were looking at in the seat where one of them stabbed the other was the victim, the Mason, and a stranger, some person we don't know for sure yet. And the person sitting in the spot they couldn't see was McGuilded. So McGuilded was not sitting next to the victim. He was sitting across from him. Didn't he say that he was sitting next to him, though, in the beginning? I mean, I guess that's what they're saying, so I'll say McGuilded. That's interesting. That's not what I expect as the answer. I guess he didn't say, did he? Did we just assume? Oh, we just assumed that. He never said it. Oh, this game. Oh my god. Okay. Well, they're kind of giving me the answer here, but it's okay. Okay, he had to have been sitting somewhere else. So it was McGuilded sitting across. Let us not delay, Counsel. The defense is still to name the pastor. Yep. Okay. It was McGuilded.
Take that!
Interesting. A passenger in the enclosed cabin that the witnesses on the roof deck failed to see. Has to have been Mr. Magnus McGuilded. McDonald's? Mr. McGuilded? What are you talking about, Counsel? That's the name of the defendant. It's interesting that they give you the answer.
Objection!
I feel like in the original trilogy, it just kind of maybe, like, hinted at it very, very, like, vaguely. So I get stuck a lot, but that one kind of gave it to me, but... I desecrate this chamber by smashing my hallowed chalice. Do forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zeeks! People talk of those tiny island nations in the Far East as having a learning and culture of their own. But I see they use the terms ill-advisedly. What are you trying to say? He's insulting you! Let me explain in terms that even a student of an artless backwater such as yourself might understand. Well, when the bloody scene unfolded, the victim and his assailant were sitting side by side. Multiple witnesses have attested to the fact. It's the very premise on which this case is built.
Objection!
But that premise may be wrong. What? If the victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGuilded, it creates an inconsistency that can't be reconciled in any way. What inconsistency, counsel? So, okay. So I think maybe what it is someone else was sitting next to the victim, and that's the real killer. And then McGuilded was on the other seat. But then if he was... Did he move him? No. Because I keep going back to that compartment. I feel like a person could fit in there. So maybe that's where he went after he killed them, so that it looked like no one else was in the cabin. And maybe he even moved McGuilded in his sleep? Or maybe McGuilded was just there and he woke... I don't know. Actually, you know what? Forget it. I don't know what's going on. The defendant's gloves, my lord. Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claimed that there was blood on both hands of the person sitting next to the victim. Yeah, so they were consistent with that. Okay, so we have a consistency. Consistent that blood was on both hands of killer. Killer not being McGuilded. Back-facing seat where McGuilded was. Okay. I know that he was on the top level. I know Bruce was, but I was like at such a loss. That's how bad it was. I was like, maybe they're all lying and Bruce was in there and then the other guys are covering for him. Like, I was going so far. Because I had no idea. I would not have expected it to be McGuilded sitting somewhere else than we thought. Be gay, do crime. Sponsored Hispanic cat people also deserve a little bit of murder as a treat for legal reasons. This is a joke. Yes, it is. Oh, say the Chief Justice. Oh my god. It like gives you a game over. He walks in and he's like, you're fired. All I know is it can't be Beppo. I love Beppo. Oh, the closed captioning was calling Mr. Naruhodo Navajo. Yeah, it's not always accurate. It's like the best caption system I found that works for me, but I do notice it's not always accurate. But also, you know, I'm saying sometimes Japanese words and Spanish words, so I don't know if it's not going to pick up on that. And I also mispronounce things and maybe like say words too quickly, so it's also on me sometimes. Not his hallowed chalice! Yeah. Surprised the lamp is still in one piece, yeah. It's fake. It's fake. We're overthinking. I do that a lot. I do that a lot. Okay. We know the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears the gory remains.
Objection!
The point is, even in the face of this irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance. Yes, their testimony remains unchanged. Exactly. They both adamantly swear that they clearly remember seeing blood on both hands of the assailant. In short, their memory of events is correct, and their testimony reveals the truth. It was somebody else sitting beside the victim that night, a third party we have yet to identify. And the victim's blood was on that passenger's hands, both of them.
Objection!
And who was this third party? obviously, the true culprit. Extraordinary. Dang. Alright. Yeah, so the true killer is someone we don't know yet. Okay. Order! Order! Arr! What exactly are you postulating?
Objection!
The defense's postulation is just that, nothing more than conjecture. The witnesses have clearly stated that they saw the accused.
Objection!
But when elaborating on his testimony, Mr. Fairplay said the two of them were wearing hats and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. True. Yes. The tops of their heads were obscured by the roof. I could see the rest of them, though. Yes, that's right. Both gents were most certainly hatted. Hatters do tend to notice such things, sir. Yeah. Okay, so, both men were wearing hats. I don't know if I wrote this down from earlier. Wearing hats. So faces covered. From top of skylights perspective. And what particular styles of hat did the two gentlemen sport, Mr. First? I'm afraid I don't remember. And do you call yourself a hatter? Well, he's not a very good one. Style of hat makes no difference. There was no third passenger in that cabin. How can you be sure? How can you be sure? Because if there had been, the accused, Mr. McGuilded, would undoubtedly have offered to depose the fact. Well, he was asleep. I think he was asleep while the person boarded and ran off or hid in the cabin. Unless, that is, you are proposing an even more preposterous explanation. That the accused failed even to notice the presence of the true culprit in the very cabin in which he traveled. Ah. Well, he was asleep. I know that. He's right. If there was another person traveling in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus, it's inconceivable that Mr. McGuilded would have been unaware of it. Order! There is clearly a simple solution to this problem. Bring the accused, Mr. McGuilded, to the stand. Well, what say you, counsel? The prosecution objects, my lord. On what grounds? As a suspect, he will have already made a full statement to the police. But what if there's some reason why he's unable to speak freely? Magnus McGuilded is no uneducated ruffian. Ruffian! If it indeed turns out the man has been withholding information, you can be sure it will have been a most deliberate act. Counsel for the defense, what is your opinion? My lord, should we ask Mr. McGuilded to testify, or not? I think so. Because the prosecution doesn't want him to. So we gotta do what they don't want! Yes, we need to hear what he has to say in order to find out the truth. The defense would like to call Mr. McGuilded to the stand. In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury. Oh, yes, I need a little time to consider this. If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGuilded has to say. Get the man out here, I say! It would be utterly illogical not to hear his testimony. When something needs doing, get it done. That's how I run things at the Guild. Hearing what the patron of my favorite little park has to say, oh yes, that would be lovely. Yes, the jury says the man must be heard. All these voices. Very well. Court will hear the defendant's testimony. Bailiff, show the defendant to the stand at once. At once! Now, maybe what actually happened that night will finally become clear. At long last! Postulating. The point across the room that Van Zeeks does, though. I know, the poses are so good. Oh, no worries, Panda. No worries. Let's see. Let proceedings be resumed. Mr. McGuilded, have you been listening to the discourse of the day? Oh, I gotta do this accent now, I forgot. To be sure I have, my lord. There are now 2 matters on which the court desires to hear from you. The first is whether or not there was a third party with you in the omnibus cabin as proposed by the defense. Was there third person in the cabin? Second is that if such a person was indeed present, why did you conceal that fact from the police? Okay. Egad, no! 'Tis not in my nature to hide anything at all. Just answer the questions, please. The truth of the matter is, I've been desperate about this all along. Do I tell you so, or keep me mouth shut? Tell us what, Mr. McGuilded? The fine fellow representing me is absolutely right. In the carriage on the night with myself and the other man, there was another passenger. It's true. Aye, and 'twas me who helped the little urchin get away after it all happened. What? Okay, so, yes, there was, and he helped them escape. And he called them an urchin. Okay. An urchin. You... What? So, okay, so that changes things, right? So, if he directly helped this person, then he would have gotten up from his seat and let them hide in the compartment. On purpose. An urchin. A street scrunkly. I remember playing this and saying that after every single sentence he uttered. Why? No, Magnus McGuilded. That convenient excuse can't save you now. I'm truly sorry, so I am, Lord Van Zeeks. I didn't kill the guy. I just helped the murderer get away. I'm sure you'll be wanting to know why I said nothing when I was taken in by the police. I do be having a very good reason, I assure you. Which was? Well, little child was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Not in any way involved, you see. A kid? What? If the police had known the wee one was there, they'd have assumed she'd done it. They'd have hauled her into this here courtroom just like myself. A little girl. Okay. I was only trying to spare her that. Young hearts and young minds are easily damaged, my lord. And who was this young child of whom you speak? That, I don't know. You don't know? Aye, well, the wee thing just happened to be in the carriage that night. I never saw her before since.
Objection!
We have absolutely no reason to believe this man. The prosecution calls for the witness's statements to be disregarded by the court. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the urchin isn't here in this courtroom as we speak, listening to the proceedings. What? Bang! Ah! Smoke! Ah! Fire! There's a fire! Look! Someone's trying to get away! After them! It's no use! I can't see anything through all the smoke! What is going on? Be careful, Mr. Naruhodo. Cover your face! Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus. I hereby call an emergency recess. What is going on? Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom. We were hurriedly removed from the smoke-filled courtroom by the bailiff. Amid scenes of chaos as people stumbled over one another in their desperation to flee the chamber. We had no idea what was happening. All we knew was that, for the time being at least, the trial was suspended. To be continued. Oh my god. Okay. What the heck is going on? Yes, I will save, thank you. Yes, I will. Alright. Alright, 18th February, 12:52 p.m. The Old Bailey, Defendant's Antechamber. What on earth just happened in there? Mr. Naruhodo, I've managed to find out what happened. Mr. Sato, I was told it was an advanced form of smoke grenade, a type of exploding device that releases smoke. A smoke grenade? It sounds like the sort of thing ninjas use. They're just making sure everything's safe now. I think the trial will start again before long. But who would have done something like that? Police managed to catch someone who was trying to flee the courtroom, apparently. Flee the courtroom? Why? Well, it's a young girl of around 15, I hear. A young girl? Then could it be the other passenger that Mr. McGuilded was just talking about? My thoughts exactly. So he wasn't lying. Oh, what's become of Mr. McGuilded, actually? There are so many things I need to ask him about, but he's not here. I think he was summoned to the prosecutor's antechamber to answer questions, along with the young girl. Who is she, I wonder? And what was she even doing here at the trial? She was taking a huge risk, and for what possible benefit to herself? There's another matter that's troubling me. What's that? The 20 pence. Hmm? Oh, yeah, the total money. According to the coachman, Mr. Beppo... She's taking notes too. He took 4 passengers that night at a fare of 5 pence each. That comes to a total of 20 pence exactly. But now it seems there was, in fact, 5 passengers. Which means the figures don't seem to add up again. Ah. Well, I think they were lying about the pricing. Or something. Something's going on here. Okay, so the 20p total for the coachman is inconsistent for the 5 passengers. At least with what they've been telling us so far. All the information in the world is in the book of Susato. She's got everything in there. That means the figures don't seem to add up. She's right. That is strange. Counsel for the defense, kindly proceed into the courtroom. Trial will recommence in 5 minutes. Oh, thank you, officer. I was using the judge voice, my bad. We'll go in straight away. Well, whoever she is, I imagine this young girl will be asked to take the stand and testify now. I really can't imagine what she's going to say, but it could alter the whole direction of the trial. We'll know soon enough, Miss Susato. Yes. She is also very excited. 18th February, 1 p.m. The Old Bailey courtroom. There's the young girl. Huh. There's the young girl next to Mr. McGuilded. Look. She must have been the one who caused the disturbance before. I like her hat. Well, after that rather eventful recess, the court will now resume the trial of Mr. Magnus McGuilded. Now then, Lord Van Zeeks. My lord. I believe you have established the cause of the smoke which veiled proceedings earlier. It seems to have been an advanced form of smoke grenade, the sort typically employed by the army. Good gracious! The army? What in the devil's name? It was an elaborate attempt by a young girl to cloak her escape from the public gallery. She was caught. It probably would have been better if she just left. Like, without doing anything else, you know? And now occupies the stand. Your name, girl? Are you responsible for the smoke grenade which induced such pandemonium here in my courtroom? What is the meaning of this deplorable behavior? Ahem, if I may, my lord. Yes, Mr. McGuilded. I think perhaps I ought to explain here why it is that this wee lass was here in the first place, and why she tried to bolt like that. It's all tied up with the events of that night, so it is. Very well, Mr. McGuilded. Give your testimony. You will explain to the court exactly how this young woman is involved in the case. Just what did happen that night? It's not like a defense lawyer needs that information or anything. The young girl. On the night in question, I took the back seat in the omnibus and promptly nodded off. Then, Agora! A loud thud and a wee scream woke me up with a fair start. There was a fella collapsed on the floor at me feet. I sat him up on the seat across from me. Then I turned to find out where that scream had come from, and bless my soul, what did I find? There was a child in there all curled up in a ball, hiding her wee self away. I remain somewhat baffled, I confess. But from what I gather, on the night in question, this young girl was indeed riding in the omnibus. Is that correct? It is exactly as the defense counsel said. This last was the 5th passenger, my lord. Very well. Defense may now cross-examine the witnesses. Are you ready, counsel? Yes, my lord. Or rather, no. I have no idea where to start. Oh well, we gotta do it anyway! The young girl. On the night in question, I took the back seat in the omnibus and promptly not at all. The Old Bailey is a real place that still exists. Yeah, I feel like I've heard of it before the game, you know? I couldn't tell you what it is, but... she didn't have to show up or make a scene, right? Like, why would you do that if you're guilty or trying to hide something? Just stay away. It's that simple! Okay, took the back seat in the omnibus and nodded.
Hold it!
And when you first got onto the omnibus, were there any other passengers already on board? There were not. The cabin was empty, and there was no one on the roof deck either. You were the first passenger, as it were, I see. Aye, and that's why I took the back side as I did. 'Tis the most comfortable, so it is. Of course. Of course! It's a courthouse here. Makes sense! Okay, so McGuilded was the first passenger and took the back seat because it's comfy. Okay. Could you explain exactly what you mean by the back seat? By all means. 'Tis how you already described it earlier. I'm talking about the seat opposite the one in which the poor gentleman who was stabbed was sitting. Like I said, 'tis the most comfortable and where I feel most at ease. And of course I enjoy gazing through the skylight from time to time as well. His face. A loud thud and a wee scream woke me up with a start.
Hold it!
A loud thud, you say, and a scream. Yeah, so MC heard a loud thud and then a scream and woke up. Aye, that's right. How can I explain it? It was like the sound of someone falling to the ground. That sort of noise. So you think it was the sound of Mr. Mason falling to the floor, having been stabbed? Well now, you'll remember, I was asleep at the time. I wouldn't like to say. And when the sound woke me and I opened my eyes, there wasn't a soul to be seen in the carriage, but the fella on the floor. You didn't see anyone? But at the same moment, you did hear a scream. Ah, from the seats above you on the roof deck, I presume. Yeah, the third witness, the hat guy, he screamed. Not above me, no, my lord. 'Twas from the inside of the cabin. Oh. But I wasn't altogether thinking about the scream. No, I was too stunned by the desperate sight before me eyes. Okay. There was a fella collapsed on the floor at my feet, so I set him up on the seat across from me. Which hat guy? They all wear hats. The hat guy that makes hats! Let's see. Heard a lot of that and then a scream and woke up. The scream was from inside the cabin. Scream is coming from inside the house. Oops, I meant to go back. Wanna press. Took the back seat and promptly nodded off.
Hold it!
Did we already do this? When you first got into the omnibus, were there any? Hold on. History. What did I just do? Yeah, did we start over on accident? Hold on. I'm getting all mixed up. Yeah, he already said that. What did I do? I did, I think, the first two. Right? Yeah. Then a loud thud. Sat him up on the seat across from me. Did I do this one? Let me do it again.
Hold it!
You sat him up? Oh, this is new. Okay. You sat him up? The victim, you mean? That I did. On the seat across from me, as I said. I could plainly see the poor devil was already gone. So he put him in the chair. Okay, so, he found the victim on the floor and sat him up in the chair. Okay. Plainly see the poor devil was already gone. And you wouldn't leave a dead man just lying on the floor now, would you? I guess. 'Tis common courtesy, so it is. It's common courtesy to move a dead body? I find that a little hard to believe. Horror! Lord Van Zeeks! Now, why would that be? You wake to find a man lying dead at your feet in a carriage. Any normal person would hail the cabman. Any upstanding member of London society, that is. Well now, as you know, I'm in something of a special line of business. The business of lending money at exorbitant rates of interest. Unfortunately, my lord, not everyone is thankful for the help I offer them, and some would even see me dead. So I do try, where at all possible, to avoid getting myself in a tangle with trouble. So don't touch a dead body. Are you suggesting you were just going to leave the man there? Heavens alive, no! I was always intending to report it, so I was. Only, I had a mind to find out the whys and wherefores first. The whys and wherefores? Right you are. There were some details I wanted to understand before anyone else got to meddling. But that means you meddled. That wee scream I heard, for example. Wouldn't your good self do just the same? Yes. The scream he says he heard at the same time as a thud of the victim collapsing. I turned to find out where the scream had come from, and bless my soul, what did I find? A little gal.
Hold it!
A child! I'm afraid I don't understand. I'm sure you told the court that there was no one else in the carriage except yourself and the victim. So I did, sir, so I did. As far as I could see, that is. What do you mean by that? Well now, 'tis a queer thing. The wee scream I heard as I woke up. It came from, if you'll excuse the vulgar expression, under me backside. What did I tell you? The scream came from the compartment under the Gilded. Yup. So the little girl was in the compartment. You heard it here, folks. When you see a body, you move it. Don't. It's common courtesy to get the hell out of a room with a dead body. Your Honor, she's but a little scrunkly. He sat on a street scrunkly. Good gracious. Under your backside? And when I lifted the seat on which I'd been sitting, I found there was a wee cubbyhole there for storage. Mr. Naruhodo, we can examine the omnibus ourselves, remember? I already know about it, girl. I know. Yes, of course. The whole bus was submitted as evidence. This would be a very good time to have a thorough look around inside. And that's when I found her. I feel like I'm gonna start talking with this cadence on accident. And that's where I found her. Because I'm doing it so much. There was a child curled up in a ball.
Hold it!
You say she was hiding herself? Aye, that's right. It was hard to see in the dim lamplight, but she was all curled up in a wee ball. When our eyes met, well, My heart nearly stopped beating in me chest. Ugh, you're really overacting this. Still and all, I pulled her out from under there and sat her on the seat opposite so I could have a wee chinwag with her. Chinwag? The seat opposite? That's right. Just next to the dead gentleman there. So you put her next to a dead guy? What's wrong with you? Okay, found the little girl under his seat. Put her next to victim. You sat this young girl next to a corpse, sir? Well, as I'm sure I mentioned, a gentleman in my position can all too often find himself in mortal danger. So, I needed to find out just who this urchin was, you see. I have a theory on who this person is, but... And while I was in the middle of talking with her, I heard another scream. A fella's voice this time. Yeah, that was the hat guy. Presumably that scream was Mr. First, who was sitting on the roof deck seats. Right you are again, I would say, sir. Looking down through the skylight, he must have seen this young girl and the gentleman with the knife in his belly. In other words, the previous witnesses did not in fact see you at all, Mr. McGuilded. What they believed to be yourself and the victim was in fact this girl and the late Mr. Mason. Aye, my lord. I was, as I think everyone understands now, sat at the back of the carriage out of sight. It is certainly plausible. The defendant is somewhat diminutive in stature, and readily confused, perhaps, with this young girl. After that, of course, with the scream from the gentleman over us, the driver realized something was wrong and pulled up the horses. Thank you. I've heard enough. The events as explained are clear in my mind. However, at least one conundrum remains. Who is the girl? Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. She's a chancer, earns her crust among large crowds, relieving people of their purses. Ah, a pickpocketer. Okay, so... Okay. What's commonly called a pickpocket? What? This girl here? A petty thief? Order! Is this true, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade. Miss Lestrade, you will answer the question. Huh? Ah! How dare you? What is the meaning of this? Ah. The girl, she's gone! Open your eyes! What? I'm over here. Oh no, it's not. In my mind, I was like, is this the ballerina again? Her hair is like the same color. I was like, no. Okay. Different. Different blonde girl. My god. I was gonna be like, why would she be here? Okay, never mind. It's a baby. My baby, my daughter. Poof. He's head on the street, scrunkly. I actually have not been able to say car without saying it in an Irish accent. I watch too many Irish YouTubers play GeoGuessr. I don't know if I can say it. Ka. I think it's ka. Like you don't say the R. I don't know. I don't watch enough Irish GeoGuessrs. I'm over here. Good gracious. How? What was the point in that little sidestep? I know what you lot are thinking. Grown-ups are all the same. This dirty little dipper, you'll say, slipped up and got caught on the job. She got herself backed into a corner, so she knifed the gent. Go on, that's what's in your heads, ain't it? No, not at all. This is a court of law. We're here to determine the truth, not cast... Oh my god! Watch where you aim that thing! Stop it! Look. Knives are for cowards. Only thugs use weapons like that. All I need for what I do is these fingers. I'm a professional, alright? Maybe not in your eyes, but I got pride in what I do. Let me guess. You don't count smoke guns among weapons for thugs? Oh, this? Yeah. This was in a bag I lifted the other day. Down where they keep the four-wheeled drags. Wait, is that Herlock Sholmes' gun? That looks like... It's nice, isn't it? I like the pink best. Oh, do not wave that thing in my direction again. He's looking directly into the camera. So, you admit that you were riding the omnibus on the night in question? Hmm? 'Tis all right, lass. You can tell them the truth now. All right, yeah. It's just like the Irishman said. Court accepts this girl, Miss Gina Lestrade, as a valid and significant witness in this case. Accordingly, young lady, we will now hear your testimony, if you please. You will tell the court exactly what happened in the omnibus on the night in question. All right, if I have to. Witness testimony. What the girl saw. I snuck inside the carriage before they hooked up the horses. Oh. So I snuck inside the carriage before they hooked up the horses, just like always. It was a right old waste of time. I got nothing to show for me troubles that night. I'll tell ya, you can't see a blind thing in that hiding place. It's pitch in there. I can't get her voice. And after a while, I hear this loud bang. Nearly jumped up out me skin, I did, and the scream just came out. It's because of that the swell found me. He did help me get away, mind. Yes, he let you go. I fail to understand why you would let this street urchin go, Mr. McGuilded. Oh, 'tis simplicity itself, my lord. You see, she couldn't possibly have killed the other passenger. I knew that for a fact. How? As I'm sure I said before, sir. I was sitting right on top of the place where she was hiding herself. Right. I think a demonstration is called for. This is where I was sat that night. And the cubbyhole of which you have spoken is underneath the seat, I presume. Yep. There was stuff in here earlier, now it's empty. Yes. It does appear just large enough to accommodate someone of the girl's stature. So if she didn't do it, and he didn't do it, then who done it? Aye, but of course, the wee lass was stuck in there. Because I'd parked myself on the seat for the duration. So he's saying... Huh. I wonder if that stuff was important. Because they did the smoke bomb, and now there's something different about the cubbyhole. Okay, so McGuilded is saying that his ass blocked her escape. Oh my god. He was sitting on top of the compartment where Pearl was, so she couldn't have killed him. Okay. And then Star, things were removed from the compartment after the smoke bombs. Okay. I'd parked myself on the seat for the duration. Ah. So you see, that's why I let the last bolt. I knew that if the police found her there, they'd automatically assume she'd done it. But I couldn't live with myself if a young life was ruined when all the time I knew she was innocent. Even though you must have realized your action would result in your own innocence being called into question. Not at all, my lord, not at all. I knew in my own heart that I was innocent. So, I thought it was worth taking a punt on my own good name for the sake of this less fortunate lass. My goodness! What a perfect gentleman! My lord! This fine example of a man cannot possibly be guilty of a heinous crime like this. I'm Ashamed of myself for ever doubting you, sir. Oh, wow. Is that everybody? Oh, no, we got her still. With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time. Yeah. That's everyone. I know we're not done, though. I know it ain't over. Saints alive! All 6 members of the jury consensual in their leaning to a verdict of not guilty. Now what? Now what? Mr. Naruhodo, this... Well, it must mean... It must mean what? That we're victorious. We've won? Are you sure?
Objection!
Hello?
If the sight of my iron-heeled Wellington offends, pray, do forgive the discourtesy.
What? You can't just put your leg up on the table like that, sir! Jesus Christ! Whoop-pow! Not the leg! Not the leg! Oh my god. Everyone else is as surprised as us. He said leg.
This really is a consummate example of the one monumental flaw in British judicial practices. Where evidence and reasoning should be paramount, emotion rules the day.
Emotion?
Emotion! The witness's latest statement gives us a clear insight into his true nature.
What do you mean, his true nature?
Do you really think Scotland Yard would have made such a glaring omission? After the incident, the omnibus was comprehensively searched by officers of the police. Obviously, the interior of this cubbyhole, as the witness put it, was included in their investigation. The compartment under the posterior seat was full of the coachman's belongings. It's noted in black and white here in the police report.
Good lord! Sound effects are off. They've been turned off out of spite! No fun for anyone now. Actions have repercussions! You're guilty! Guilty! Of being stinky! Stinky. Let me catch up with chat. A word ban for 5 minutes? You want suffering at a higher level. Okay. 5 minutes starting now. Do, do, do. Ah, ah, ah. Oh. My god. We are prepared. We are prepared for takeoff. Please make sure your luggage is stowed in the underbutt compartment. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and babies. Theys and thems. Thebes. They, them, babes. McGuilded is my favorite McDonald's food. I'm gonna order McGuilded the next time I go. We'll see what they give me. McGussie? Oh, Lord. Listen, he could step on me. The boot. He put his whole Van Ziacussy into the motion. Jesus Christ. He could step on me and I would thank him. Can he teach me that baddie finesse? Oh my god. Oh, now you know why the animation exists. There you go. Judge got so surprised. Good lord. They already voted not guilty. No takesy backsies. Leg ejection. Leg ejection is my favorite Ace Attorney animation. They're reporting, Vabe reporting for booty. They've reporting for booty. Oh yeah, that as a quote. Oh yeah, and I failed the word band, didn't I? I honestly forgot immediately. As soon as I set the timer, I forgot about it. I forgot about it right away. Okay. Oh my goodness. Thank you for adding that quote. You know what? I just remembered I need to add that 100% quote, or 100% love that you just mentioned, Zoe. Hold on. I kept forgetting to do it. I have it on my to-do list right here, and I just kept forgetting. I'm just gonna do it now, so I don't forget. Let me see. Into the Hall of Fame you go. Once again. Yeah, if you get 100% love with the exclamation love command in my chat, you get added to a 100% Hall of Fame for it's exclamation 100, but I'm not done updating yet. Hold on. I'm adding yours right now as I speak. Okay, there we go. Now it's updated. 46% love with Leggy Van Zeeks. And the Hall of Fame is so long now that it goes into 2 messages. 12% love with Hot Stuff on Screen. Oh, thanks. No, just kidding. I'm so kidding. I'm so kidding. The evidence has been tampered with. I agree. It definitely has. 12%. So low. 57% with Van Zia Cussing. 60% with Mr. Beppo. That's pretty good. Mr. Beppo. Oh, sorry about the countdown. Or cooldown. Let me do it for you. I don't have a cooldown. I'm the streamer. There you go. There you are. 18% with Van Leg. 56% with Zeke C. McWine. Just do them again if it doesn't go through. It's it has like an internal cooldown I can't change. 57% with Van Leggy. Welcome back in, Dream Eaters. 81% with Barrick Van Legacy. Oh my god.
The evidence has been tampered with. In order to corroborate Mr. McGuilded's story... Oh, I just said the word.
I'm just trying to play the game, man! I'm just trying to play the game. I gotta say words sometimes.
In order to corroborate Mr. Irishman's story, someone has unlawfully removed everything from under the seat.
What? It's true. It's true. 80% love with leg jection. Order! Order! Order in the chat. 87% with Baron Van Zexy. Zexy! Van Zexy. Oh, another 100%! With Arkham and Vanussi. Wow! Of course. Let me add that too while we're at it. While I'm here, you know, streaming on Twitch. Okay. Let me see. So now we got what number? Oh, we need to add that as a quote. Has it been added yet? Ruuuvo, did you add that quote for Arkham? Okay, not yet. I'll wait. I'll wait. No, I'm just kidding. Second 100%. Order!
Order, order, order! How could such a devious contrivance possibly have been effected, Council? Naturally, we must acknowledge the deficiencies of the constabulary in allowing this to have happened. However, I assure you, when the omnibus was wheeled into the courtroom this morning, the compartment under the seat was not empty.
Look at that look on his face. Look at his eyes. Thank you for doing that, Ruuuvo. My dear. That is 5:48. I love this music. There you go. All right, updated. There you are. I just remembered I got 100% with Edgeworth and Van Zeeks. Don't know what's the appeal, but I'm not complaining. Oh, nice. You have a type, in the sense of the types that you get 100% love with. The way I keep mistyping ADD, and the unfortunate letter next to D is S. Amazing. The compartment was not empty.
Well, my Nipponese friend.
Me? Who?
When the carriage was submitted as evidence, doubtless you examined it in fine detail, as would any self-respecting practitioner of the law. Pray, what did you find the condition of the underseat compartment to be?
Oh, to be sure. The young gentleman will be able to clear this up in a jiffy.
Sorry?
Go ahead. You tell the court now, fella. How this is all an elaborate excuse by the desperate Lord Van Zeeks. It's not. It's actually not. I feel like maybe he is guilty.
Well, counsel, do you have something to say on this matter?
How am I supposed to answer? What can I say about the state of that little compartment under the seat in the omnibus? Well, I know the truth. But I'm gonna save. I didn't look. It wasn't empty. I really don't know if giving this answer is helping my cause as a counsel for the defense. But as far as I remember at least, when I first examined the compartment, I'm fairly certain there were a number of articles inside it, yes.
Are you sure, counsel?
Hurrah! Be whist!
What are you saying now, you daft dog? I thought you were on my side here.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not a liar! What game are you playing? Your task is to defend the man in the stand. Why would you say something to compromise his position?
Because it's the right thing to do. As the advocate for the defense in this trial, I confess I'm still not entirely sure where I stand, but it seems to me that I should state what facts I do know as clearly and honestly as possible.
Interesting. A good person at the stand?
I am 100% sure of my answer. Saves just in case. Yeah. Oh, I think I avoided saying the name. The timer just ran out. Like, it just ran out. Did I say his name that whole time? I hope not. But yeah, sorry for the ads, y'all. I'm not sure when they happen. I think Twitch might do notifications, but I never look at it.
A good person working in law? Impossible.
Impossible. A good-natured lawyer doesn't exist. Only Phoenix Wright and Ryu. Only those two. Okay.
Interesting.
Interesting. Truthful lawyer? Contradiction. Oxymoron. Like Jumbo Shrimp. Jumbo Shrimp. 'Tis not altogether pleasing, fella. I'm simply telling the truth, Mr. McGuilded. Well, don't forget that you're supposed to be representing my best interests here, lad. Now then. Fella's memory is a curious thing, and not altogether reliable. No, the court must consider the facts. That there cubbyhole under the seat is as empty as the devil's heart, so it is. Well, it is now. Do you think perhaps it would be in your best interests, now, to admit that you might have been mistaken? Why? Why do I feel like something's not right here?
I should like the jury to weigh in on this matter, I think.
We're just telling the truth. We're saying what we saw, which is that the compartment was not empty, and it has been emptied after it was submitted as evidence, so somebody messed with evidence.
That compartment is designed to house equipment used to maintain the smooth running of the carriage. The guild's rules state that omnibuses should be properly and fully equipped at all times,
And see, it's inconsistent with the rules, too.
so it certainly wouldn't have been empty on the night in question.
Beppo isn't that irresponsible.
He's not that bad. That money-lending fleecer and the pick purse are lying.
Just immediately guilty. They're guilty of lying.
Ah.
I can't believe I was nearly taken in. The stinking rich are always stinkers. Nothing but cowards, a lot of them.
What? Oh no.
It's a trick. Of course it's a trick.
Quite so. I must concur here.
Man. We're just trying to do the right thing.
With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time.
Yes, but every time a different truth, it seems. Okay, so only some of them said guilty.
My lord, I humbly exhibit the scales of justice. Clearly, the verdict of not guilty at this time would be wholly inappropriate.
Thank you, counsel. Before we proceed any further, there is the matter of the outstanding cross-examination. Counsel for the defense, begin your questioning of the witness, please.
Yes, my lord. What just happened? The whole balance of the trial just shifted, almost beyond recognition. The Reaper of the Bailey is at work, it would seem.
I mean, tampering with evidence is a pretty big deal, so I feel like they should point it out. What the girls saw.
So, I snuck inside the carriage before they hooked up the horses, just like always.
Hold it!
So, you were already in the omnibus before it even set off on its run?
Well, yeah. I mean, what's the point of spending a joey to make a few bob, eh? That's a rum idea, isn't it? Isn't it? Tuesday!
I suppose she means there's no point spending money to make money. It actually makes sense. Okay. So, she was in the bus before it started its run. I think that's pretty important to know. Warning, British! Counsel, may I remind you that this girl is a petty thief. Kindly refrain from entertaining her tenants.
Well, that does clear up the little mystery of the fares and all. 4 paying passengers at 5 pence apiece, making the 20 to which the cabman testified. And 1 little scapegrace riding for free. The red conch of a driver always goes for some grub before his last run, see? That's when I slip into the carriage and get myself eaten under the seat. Nice and easy, right?
But your hiding place is a storage compartment, full of equipment for the coach, no? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's brushes and buckets and whatnot in there, sure.
She's got gizmos aplenty.
I always chuck all that out and cram it in a corner somewhere. No one ever seems to bother much.
And yet, according to the report filed by the police officer who first arrived at the scene, the compartment was full of such paraphernalia.
Well, I don't know nothing about that. Like I said, I moved all that stuff out so I could hide under the seat. That's all I can tell you.
Seems we've reached the end of that line of inquiry. Continue.
It was a right old waste of time. Got nothing to show for me troubles that night.
So then she claims she threw out all the stuff in the cubby, but it was there at the beginning of the trial. Now I'm really curious, like, is this going to turn out where we actually get a guilty, but it's a good thing because, you know, Top Hat there is actually guilty? Or maybe Gina is the killer and he's trying to help her not be found guilty. I don't know. Got nothing to show.
Hold it!
A waste of time? Why is that?
Well, most nights I'm on me own in the God permit.
In the God permit at least some of the time. She's speaking a different language I don't understand! I need to use Babel to understand her. I beg your pardon. Did you say God permit? God permit. Permit?
Oh yeah, Well, that's what my kind call it. You'd say the omnibus, I suppose. Oh. Point is, any normal run, the carriage ain't got no one in it for a while. And that's when you come out of your hiding place and get away. That's it. Only that night, this cove was sat on me seat from the start. And he didn't budge the whole way, did he? Not 1 inch. I was totally stuck.
You mean to tell us that you were present in the carriage for the duration? You were under the seat the entire time while events unfolded in the enclosed cabin.
Yeah.
Well then, why would she scream when the thud happened? Why would she be scared? You know?
Yeah. Right, mister?
To be sure. I was as shocked as anyone.
You don't expect to lift the cushion you've been sat on and find a child, now do you?
So this Miss Lestrade couldn't possibly be the culprit. I don't know yet. A couple quotation marks would have been super helpful there. Yeah, would have been a little helpful. Can't see a blind thing in that hiding place. It's pitch black in there.
Hold it!
So you couldn't see out into the cabin at all? Yeah, then why would she scream?
Not a drop. Most days I push the cushion up with me head and look out the crack. Then I can have a butcher's at who I'm gonna fiddle.
I thought you were a pickpocket, not a butcher.
I mean, I can have a look. The seat I get under ain't as plush as the other one, see? So most of the time, the passengers plant themselves opposite.
Not as plush. But he said he chose the seat because it's the most comfortable.
Interesting.
Okay, the girl said the seat he was on is not very plush, but he said he chose it because it was comfortable. I think that's an inconsistency, personally.
Personally, I do.
What else? Yeah.
For some reason that night, this here Irishman spent the whole journey right over me head.
And for that reason, you weren't able to push the cushion up to peek out. Let's see. Yeah, so, sat the whole time. Couldn't see anything.
Truth is, I ain't too happy in small dark places. Feels too much like being thrown in the clink. But it's the only place to hide in them carriages, so it's Obson's choice.
Why doesn't she just stick to picking people's pockets in the open, then? I'd say there's some reason that she's not letting on, judging from her demeanor.
So anyways, I was a bit scared, but I had to just stick it out under there. Nothing else for it.
Now I am the one who is EB and neebies to sleepy. Critical levels of being a sleepy little guy need to go bib. Good night, friend. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. I appreciate it. I appreciate your presence, as always, and hope you have a great night, and we'll see you around. We'll see you next time. After a while, I hear this loud bang, nearly jumped out of my skin, and the scream just came out. Oh, okay, right. So she's saying that the sound scared her.
Hold it!
When you say a loud bang, do you mean the noise of someone falling to the floor?
Could have been, I suppose. I don't remember so well. Point is, it made me jump.
And you let out a scream involuntarily?
That's right. And then I felt the cushion over me head get lighter all of a sudden.
Presumably when the defendant got up in order to help the victim. Or not. It could equally have been the moment the accused stood in order to stab his victim, could it not? Well, girl, did you see what happened at that critical moment? Crucial moment?
Yeah, I saw it. I pushed up the cushion and had a quick butcher's while I had the chance, didn't I? The Irishman was sitting up the bloke what had fallen on the floor on the seat opposite.
That matches Mr. McGuilded's account, of course.
But then, the fella suddenly turns round and looks right at me. I sunk back down again, but it was too late by then. I should never have risked looking.
Well, then that would make it sound like McGuilded killed him. It's because of that this swell found me. He did help me get away, mind. Okay. So she says that she heard a loud thump and let out a scream. Then opened the cubby and looked and saw him putting the victim on the chair. But if that's the order of events, why didn't he look for the source of the scream first? I guess that's my first thought, but I guess I don't remember what order he said that he did things. Let me see. He heard a loud thud and then a scream and woke up. He was asleep. And he heard the scream from inside the cabin. He found the victim on the floor and set him up on the chair across from him. And he found the little girl. So this is consistent, I guess. Okay, this is consistent. Okay.
Hold it!
And when Mr. McGuilded discovered you, he pulled you out from your hiding place? I was scared stiff, I was. He dragged me out and sat me down on the seat and all. Next to the victim, Mr. Mason? Yeah, the bloke had a knife in his guts. It was still bleeding. Then the carriage lurched a bit and he ended up falling onto me. Oh, how awful. Both me hands got covered in blood. Made me feel sick as a dog. Okay. She says the cabin lurched and the victim fell on her and got blood on both hands. That's how that happened. Well then, if you didn't stab him and he didn't stab him, then who stabbed him? What happened here? Both her hands covered in blood. That must be what the rooftop passengers saw. After that, I believe you talked with Mr. McGuilded for a while. Is that correct? You know, another weird thing is they say that she screamed, but why didn't the passengers above the compartment hear that? Because the only scream we knew of was the hat guy screaming when he saw like the blood and stuff. But they didn't say they heard a little girl screaming. You know what I mean? Unless the cabin is that soundproof. But I think that's a little odd. After that, I believe you talked with Mr. McGuilded for a while. Is that correct? He asked me some stuff. Wanted to know me name and what I was up to and that. Then I heard something from above. Someone screamed. Yes, Mr. First on the roof deck, one would presume. Well, I didn't want no one seeing me face, so I didn't look up. Then the horses were drawn up smartish, and this here Irishman says to me, "Get back under the seat. I'll see that you can get away later." All 6 members of the jury had decided the defendant was innocent. For one brief shining moment, yes. It's clear that they are all still very unsure. If we could just find some conclusive piece of evidence among this new testimony, I'm sure we would clinch the verdict we want. Yes, I think you're right. And I have this, nagging feeling. Nagging feeling? Something's bothering me. I prefer nagging. Something's bothering me, but I just can't quite put my finger on it. So I snuck inside the carriage before they hooked up the horses, just like always. Yeah, okay, so we already did all of this. So now I gotta... There was an inconsistency, I think. He stabbed himself? I'm almost wondering that. No spoilers, Wolf. Okay, let me see. It was in the bus before it started its run. Okay, the only inconsistency that I found was that he wanted the comfortable seat, but she says it actually wasn't that comfortable. But, I don't know. Let me see. Never mind, it was me who stabbed it. Spoiler alert, Mason died when he stopped breathing. Oh my god, you guys are just spoiling everything. Hmm. I don't know. Got nothing to show for my troubles that night. Can't see anything in that hiding place. It's pitch black in there. Maybe that's wrong. We've already looked at this omnibus. The seat looks reasonably soft, but it's actually rather hard when you sit on it, and only just wide enough for two gentlemen to sit side by side. Of course, an English gentlewoman would be dressed in such finery. It would be quite impossible for her to climb up to the roof decks. She would have to be seated in here. A woman in a kimono would have the same problem. Women's clothes are very impractical, aren't they? No pockets! I don't know if I ever actually clicked on the seat. Well, there's the compartment. Now it's empty. This is a storage compartment, but there's nothing in here. It's totally empty. Something doesn't seem right here, but I can't put my finger on what it is. The fact that it's empty when it shouldn't be. So it doesn't look like there is any way for her to see out of this. Okay. I was wondering if I could catch her in a lie somehow with that. Okay. I heard a loud bang, and the scream just came out. Huh. I'm gonna save. Like, nothing is immediately jumping out to me. At least when it comes to, like, what she's saying in the green text. I don't feel like I have evidence that would prove a discrepancy with what she's saying. I snuck inside before they hooked up the horses. I got nothing to show for my troubles that night. Can't see anything in there. Heard a loud bang. Maybe this one. It's because of that he found me. He did help me get away. Maybe there's something here. No hemorrhaging. Oh, man. Let's stay on the right glove. Maybe I should press her again. Like, I'm having some, like, whispers of an idea, but, like, nothing's solid. Let me, press her again and just kind of go through it. See if anything jumps out to me when I'm not taking notes. You're already in the omnibus before it set off. Unless paying is different? Nice and easy. Maybe it's about the compartment? That's the most obvious thing. It's full of stuff. I moved it, that's all I can tell you. Okay. I snuck inside before they hooked up the horses, just like always. Maybe this is wrong. There's like... I mean, this is just about Bruce. Maybe we'll find something new? Oh, they don't even say anything new now. Okay. Never mind. I might need a hint. If anyone is able to think of something vague. I feel like maybe I just need to do the carriage. I think I'm just gonna try that. So I'm kind of at a loss for what else it could be. Let me save one more time. And like, is that the right thing to react to, you know? Before they hooked up the horses. Because this is when she talks about how it was empty when it wasn't. Oh, go back. Present?
Objection.
No, that's not it. No, it's not it. Well, let me see it through. Let's just consider the implications of that statement for a moment, shall we? Look at the omnibus again? Okay. What implications? Nothing strikes me about it. There's nothing striking about it! Hold on, let's just load. Yeah. Okay. I guess I should have looked more thoroughly. Now that it's... You know what? That's true. It's changed, hasn't it? Okay. Let's look at the omnibus. I'll just look at everything again, just to be sure. So this is the roof deck of the omnibus. You must have a wonderful view of the streets from here. People sit all the way up here on bitter winter nights with the cold air. And they have to pay money. Can't imagine. Just made me think of something horrible. Using cold as punishment. Da-da-da. It's gotta be like stuff inside, but... Let's look at the skylight. You can see inside, that's for sure. There's a lamp in the enclosed cabin. The witnesses would have been able to see quite clearly. Not good for us, right? Okay, let's go in. Is the bloodstain on the floor new, or was it already there? Like, it feels like it wasn't there. I did think about that. I was like, that's blood, isn't it? Something wrong? Oh my god. It's the blood on the floor. Oh, it's just... Well, this bloodstain is so obvious, that's all. It was really bright red. Isn't that weird? I walked in here and I immediately noticed it. But I was like, oh, I guess it was already there. Like... Oh my god. Yet Van Zeeks has made no mention of it. I suppose that does seem a little strange. Like, if I played this whole episode in one stream, like in one go, I think I would have immediately been like, that's new! But because it's been like 2 weeks, I'm like, was that there? I don't remember! Why do I have such a bad feeling about this? Okay. So do we have that updated for evidence? That's blood that's soaked into the seat. The victim's, obviously. Yes, and that seat would be clearly visible from the roof deck. Would you really stab somebody in full view of the other passengers like that, I wonder? Well, it was after dark. And there was a lamp on in here, so perhaps the culprit couldn't see anything. Okay. Can we do anything else with this? No, okay. Alright, let's get out of here. Nothing's updated, like nothing has changed is the thing. I see the blood. Okay. It's a waste of time. Can't see anything in that hiding place. Here just came out. I think she mentions... Maybe I need to present during her, during the conversation itself. Which would probably be... Maybe this one? Okay, hold on. When you say a loud bang, do you mean the noise of someone falling to the floor? Could have been, I suppose. I don't remember. Made me jump. Let out a scream. That's right. And then I felt the cushion over my head get lighter. And he got up to help. Or not. It could equally have been the moment he stood up in order to stab him. Okay, maybe here. Yeah, I saw it. I pushed up the cushion and had a quick butcher's while I had the chance. Irishman was sitting up the bloke that had fallen on the floor on the seat opposite. Okay. That matches his account. But the fella turns around and looks right at me. So I could maybe... Can I... I don't think I can present, though. Yeah. I can look at him, but it's gonna be really obvious when something is up. Okay. Weird. Like, I have this new evidence, but it's not, like, in my stuff? Let's just go through everything. Let's see, I did the first one. Okay, got nothing to show. Like, maybe something new will pop up now that I've seen the blood. A waste of time. Why is that? I'm out on my own. They're like, what? Carriage hasn't got anyone in it for a while. We sat from the start. He didn't budge the whole way, not 1 inch. Okay. Right, mister? Yes. Find a child. A child! Miss Lestrade couldn't possibly be the culprit then. That was highlighted, okay. Can't see anything in there. Didn't see anything. Kind of lost here, because I can't present unless it's to the green text. Well, journey sat on me, and for that reason you weren't able to push the cushion. Oh! He didn't do that the first time, I don't think. I don't think he did. Okay. Maybe I should have looked at the omnibus when I realized something had changed. Oops. Okay, pursue.
Excuse me.
There we go. Is something wrong, Mr. McGuilded? Oh, I do apologize. Was there something the matter, Council? I'm just wondering if Miss Lestrade's last comment made something occur to you, perhaps. It looked like he was laughing. You seem to be thinking something to yourself. Oh, no. It was nothing important. I was feeling bad for the poor lass is all. I remember feeling desperate myself as a young lad, shut up in the dark. 'Twas terrifying, so it was. I see. Yes, I'm sure we can all sympathize. I'm still scared of the dark now. Oh. Aye, and I don't know about yourself, but I find that the darkness seems to make everything you hear seem that much louder as well. And he's like pointedly looking at her. I think he's forcing her to do this. And maybe he is guilty, even though the whole point of this is to find him not guilty. Okay. So what are they saying here? They're saying, scared of the dark. Might be a lie. Okay. Might be a lie. Okay. Got it. Yeah. Yeah. I suppose it does, maybe. And then he said, MC pointedly said, being in the dark can make sounds louder. Okay. Miss Lestrade. Did you hear something that night? Anything? An unusual noise, perhaps? She's lying. Nah, not really. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. Chappers, there's no need to tell the whole world of me foibles, you little scamp. He's being so fake. What a pity. If only Miss Lestrade had heard something, it might have given us a vital new clue. Yes. What should we make of that last statement of hers? It's profoundly important. Yes, I don't need to save. My lord, I believe the statement just made by the witness is profoundly important. Profoundly important? But all she said was that she heard nothing. Yes, which is the profoundly important point. I'm almost sure of it. I'm almost sure that I don't understand the inner workings of your Eastern Mind Council. Nevertheless, Miss Gina Lestrade, you will supplement your formal testimony by repeating that last statement, please. What? Supplement? What are you on about? Don't give me all your fancy talk. I know what you're trying to do. Well, it won't work on me. That's right. Insult the judge. Always a good move. I was straining me ears to work out what was going on, but all I could hear was snoring. Okay. Being a defense lawyer in real life kind of sucks. Yeah. Yeah. Late again. Have a good night. Oh, thanks so much for hanging out with us, Caramel. I appreciate it. Oh my god, 59% love with Baron Hot Pants. Only 10 away from 69. Oh, that's pretty good. But yeah, good night, Caramel. Thanks for being here. We'll see you around. Good night. All she could hear was snoring. Okay.
Hold it!
So you were straining to hear what was happening the entire time, since the moment you hid yourself? Not exactly, no. Sorry? Well, there was no one in the cabin to start with. I could just push the cushion up and out of the bushes to see what was what. But then, when I saw this swell getting on, I got my head down so he didn't notice me. And Mr. McGuilded sat on the seat under which you were hiding, correct? Yeah! Would you Adam and Eve it, eh? What a mug! So then all I could do was listen. I was waiting to jump out there as soon as I heard him leave, see? But would you? Not likely. Even though he stopped here and there, I never heard the door open. So I just had to stay put and listen to him driving his pigs to market, snowing like an old dog he was. Are there any conclusions we can draw from that, I wonder? I mean, I automatically want to say it doesn't add up. Because that's what we're going for. We're going for inconsistencies. Doesn't add up? Miss Lestrade, what you have just told the court is clearly at odds with the facts. Huh. At odds? Are you sure, man? Absolutely. Absolutely. Seems my learned Nipponese friend is not as dull-witted as I feared. So Van Zeeks realized it too. Yeah, she only heard one person get on, I think is what she's implying, because she said she never heard the door open after he got on, but there was 2 other people in the cabin. That's interesting. I just realized it as I was thinking, oh, what was wrong? Oh, that. That's something. I'm so glad I noticed that. Okay, so she said she only heard the door open once, but there were 2 passengers. So they would have had to get on together if that was the case. Oh, good night, Arkham. Have a good night. We'll see you later, possibly for more Ace Attorneys. Good night. Counsel, I must insist that you bolster your claim with evidence, or some complicit party's name at the very least. Yes, my lord. I expect you to demonstrate this alleged contradiction to the court. According to Miss Lestrade, whilst she was hiding in the omnibus that night, she heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGuilded snoring. But think, Ryu, think! Girl is saying she only heard snoring. There's something else she should have heard. Probably showing a person, right? I would probably show, Mason. Let's save again. I'm nervous! Very well, my lord. Allow me to elaborate. On a particular sound that Miss Lestrade could not have failed to hear on the night in question. A sound very clearly explained by the presence of the following person. Yeah?
Take that!
I think so. I think I got it. Thrice fired Mason. Yes, my lord. The sound that Miss Lestrade could not have failed to hear is that of the victim, Mr. Mason, boarding the omnibus. There we go. I got that one right away. Oh. Order! Order! Explain your reasoning, counsel! Miss Lestrade, allow me to confirm something. You claimed earlier that you were the first person on board the omnibus, is that correct? Yeah, of course I was. I got on while the driver was in the pub, didn't I? And the next person to board the omnibus was Mr. McGuilded. That it was. Not at all was in the cabin when I climbed aboard. At least, not in plain sight. So you were, to all intents and purposes, alone in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus at that time. Did I not just say as much? I wasn't traveling with anyone else, if that's what you mean. Hmm? Yeah, I saw him get on, remember? Through the crack under the seat cushion. He was on his own for sure. Yeah, she might be lying. And from what we've heard, the carriage made a number of stops after that on its onward journey. During which time, did you not hear the door opening or closing at all? Nah, I never heard it. That's exactly what I was listening for, weren't I? Waiting for this swell to leave. In which case, when and how did the victim end up in the carriage? Oh. We know that the victim collapsed inside the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Therefore, Miss Lestrade's statement about what she did or did not hear is at odds with the facts. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yes, this petty thief's statement was clearly flawed. Lord Van Zeeks? Yes. He knew. He knew all too well that there was an inconsistency in Miss Lestrade's statement. It would seem the words of thanks are in order for my learned friend. What are you talking about? You have demonstrated matters impeccably. This witness and her colorful statements are entirely unreliable. Her words are convenient untruths, nothing more. He's dead right. How could the victim possibly not have boarded the omnibus? That makes no sense whatsoever. And this girl is a pickpocket. Let's not forget that. Oh, Granny! Granny, what are you doing? Granny, no! Granny, no! No! Granny! Oh. Ah, she didn't even say anything. I didn't want to judge the dear little mite just because she has some rather naughty ways. But I must say, I can't abide liars. And neither can I. Mr. Foreman, I didn't want to judge the girl just because she has some less than salubrious ways. But I must say, I cannot abide liars. Oh, man. Arr! Mr. Naruhodo, you're turning into a pirate. Stop it. That's 5 jury members leaning towards guilty. Well, your consideration for others is refreshing, my Nipponese friend. For the considerable troubles you have spared me. Yeah, we're just helping him at this point. Yes, very refreshing. Ah! Gah! What are you playing at? Have you forgotten who you're working for, you useless Eastern Amadan? This is carnage! It's perfect! Juror number 2 is the only one left. Mr. Naruhodo, the way this is going... I know. If we can't find some new way to convince everyone of Mr. McGuilded's innocence, The judge will rule and will have lost.
I very much wanted to believe the words of one of London's most respected gentlemen. But those of us in service know we must accept hard truths.
Hold it!
Oh! 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 Desperation. Yes, the witness's last statement seems to have revealed a critical inconsistency in her story. However, if we consider the possibility that her statement is in fact the truth, it may shed an entirely new light on this whole case. That's true. So if she's telling the truth, what does that mean? Yeah. Ace Attorney also turns into a maths game in here. Not math! Next time, maybe get jury members that don't change opinions, like pendulums. Yeah, like a pendulum. What are you saying? Counsel? I'm sorry, sir? Whatever do you mean? Counsel, I will not tolerate you attempting to prorogue my adjudication. Explain yourself at once. When the accused boarded the omnibus on the night in question, the victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, the carriage door was not heard opening a single time, as testified by the witness on the stand. And yet the victim's body was found inside the carriage. If this petty thief's words are to be believed, how do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus? There's only one way to explain how the victim came to be inside the carriage. He was in there already. There's another entrance. He was put there after he died. Oh, man. Okay. Well... He was put there after he died. I think that would imply that he died somewhere else, though. And the blood is definitely on the seat where he was found. And that's the only place there was blood. So that's the thing, too. Like, I think the blood on the floor was fake blood, right? Because it was added later. So, if he died on the seat, then that means that he was not on the floor and the guy moved him up onto the chair. Because they're trying to fake that he fell on the floor. So... and then if we have to take everything that she said as the truth. So if that's the truth, then I don't know if we can say that he was already in there. Oh, God. I'm gonna go with he was put there after he died, but I'm not confident. I'm not confident. Obviously, the victim must have been placed in the carriage after he was killed.
Objection!
Tell me, my learned friend, what was the function of that obviously in your last sentence?
Okay, I get it, I was wrong. Like, I really want to logic this out and figure it out legitimately, but I'm also like, he was in there already. Another entrance. I mean, there's the skylight. That was actually my first thought. I was like, did he, like, go in through the skylight? Because you can't open it from the inside. I know that. I think that's something that we found when I was investigating the skylight from inside the carriage. But I don't know if it said if you could open it from the outside. I mean, there's a 50% chance I'll get it right this time, right? So let's just do it. Let's just do it. The door wasn't opened even once. The only explanation is that the victim entered the enclosed cabin some other way.
Objection!
It was highlighted. This might be it. I wondered what new fantasy you would come up with in your blind panic. But behold, the omnibus is here for all to see. Only one side of the enclosed cabin is furnished with a door. The other has only windows, okay. Fixed windows, which cannot possibly open. In short, there is no entrance to the cabin other than the door.
Objection!
That's not true. But there could be. There's one possibility you haven't considered. Oh, really? Yes, one other way inside that isn't the door. Oh, I guess it was that. Another opening, the use of which allowed the victim to appear inside the enclosed cabin. Okay. I should have gone with my first thought. I was like, the skylight? All right, counsel. The defense will identify the location for the court. Here is the omnibus on which the incident occurred. Where on earth is this entrance by which you propose the victim enter the cabin? Right here.
Take that!
Take that. The answer is obvious. It can only have been the skylight. I say, skylight?
Objection!
Your ludicrous proposal almost has me lost for words. However,
Objection!
The skylight may well be large enough for someone to pass through.
Objection!
so you claim. But do you have a shred of evidence to support your addle-brained theory? Both Mr. McGuilded and Miss Lestrade said the same in their testimonies. They each claimed to have heard a loud thud, such as the noise made by someone falling to the floor. Oh, so that wasn't him dying. That was him jumping into the cabin. Okay, okay. Here's what I see happening. This is my new theory, okay? My new theory is that the victim was trying to kill McGuilded because that was his last day of having to pay back his debt. So that would be a motive for murder, was for him to try to take out McGuilded, who he owed money to. And then the fact that he was stabbed instead, and with McGuilded's knife, it could be that McGuilded is actually guilty of killing him, but it would be in self-defense instead of just murdering him. And if that was the case, McGuilded still wouldn't want to be found guilty, because he's a famous guy. He has a lot of money. Why would he want to go to, you know, be sucked up in all this? He said himself he doesn't want to get caught in anything weird. So then the girl happened to be there and maybe saw this, and then he's paying her off to cover for him. But that's just a game theory.
Anyway, I'm like, okay, I'm good now. They each claim to have heard a loud thud, such a noise as someone falling to the floor. Okay, so let me take notes here for tomorrow. MC and the girl heard a thud, like someone falling to the floor. Could have been the victim jumping down through the skylight. And then my working theory, I'm gonna just type up really quickly. Trying to kill MC, and MC defended himself. Yeah, that's basically the short end of it. Got it out of your system, did you? I did. I did. Sometimes the game tricks you like this. You're doing awesome, thank you. The music bangs as per usual. As per usual. Dan Zeeks just spits out that objection. His favorite word. Okay, they each claim to have heard the loud thud. Yes, which has already been explained. As the sound of the victim falling from his seat, having been assaulted with a dagger. Yes, it has, but would a man slipping from the seat onto the floor really have made such a loud noise as the witnesses describe? A noise loud enough to cause Miss Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry, in fact? Good gracious. Yeah, okay, that's just helping me out. So the loud thud and the scream that happened at the same time, he even admitted that's what woke him up, was the scream, I think. Well, he heard the thud too, so the thud and scream combined would have woken him up. And then he would see the victim trying to kill him. Okay.
Good gracious.
Perhaps, in fact, that was the moment that the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase that. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He fell into it.
Objection!
You're now suggesting that the victim fell from the skylight into the cabin. That's simply impossible. How can you be so sure? Because if the victim had fallen inside, through the skylight as you say, passengers on the roof deck would have seen it happen. And yet, not one person made mention of such events in their testimony. Okay. Well, yes, that's true, but... Taking notes. But wouldn't the other witnesses have seen this?
Might a humble fella make a wee comment here?
Mr. McGuilded?
To be sure now, the two fellas who were sat on the roof that testified afore said nothing of the victim falling through the skylight. But it seems to me, my lord, that 'tis not so much a case of them not saying, but... Aye. 'Tis a case of them being unable to say.
What?
I think perhaps the two fellas do be having something of a compelling reason not to mention what happened. Would yous not agree, fine ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Oh my goodness, surely not. Those two chaps on the roof?
You mean the ones who stuck that knife in the man were... Oh, so now we're trying to say that the two guys up on the roof are the murderers who killed him, and then he fell through the roof.
Just what exactly are you insinuating here, you blitherer?
Let's see. Okay, so they wouldn't say because they were the ones... Everyone's just pointing fingers at each other. This is wild. That killed him, and then his body fell through the floor. I still think what I said is viable, but I don't know.
You rotter, he said. You rotter. What are you insinuating? Look at him!
Is that a horse galloping in the background? Is there any other accused I should know of? Right, there's like 5 working accused now. 1, the jury is too easily impressed and swayed. And 2, that hat maker needs a hat clip or a better fitting hat. Yeah, he makes hats, but he's not good at it. He's not good at it. Feels like a classic Nick versus Edgy case, huh? It is... So much is going on. So much. My goodness. My goodness. Welcome in, Cranges. Welcome. Howdy. He's like riding on a horse. You're guilty. He's guilty. We're all guilty.
This is a flaming outrage. I've a good mind to give you a blinker in a minute.
That means a black eye.
He'll give you a shiner. That also means black eye. In a minute, he said, and so will I.
His accent changed a little bit. Mr. Fairplay.
You're effectively accusing me, a city gentleman and well-respected banker. And me, a very angry hatter. Suggesting that someone like me could have stabbed that man in the guts. It's a disgrace. It's scandalous. It's... I protest in the strongest possible terms. That's right. I protest too. About you rotten scoundrel.
And he's laughing.
He's laughing.
They're guilty and he's laughing.
Order! This is not the time, witnesses. I will not permit this wanton invasion of the stand. Return to the anteroom at once. But this is beyond reason, my lord. It's outrageous. It's very hurtful, you know. My lord, if I may comment. Go ahead, Lord Van Zeeks. It was the defense that incited this outburst from the witnesses. My learned friend has seen fit to abandon all protocol and accuse the witnesses without proof.
Accuse? I never intended to. Yeah, that was actually McGuilded.
It seems that your command of the English tongue is wanting. You propose to this court that the victim fell through the skylight from the roof deck of the omnibus. That hypothesis cannot possibly stand without the rooftop passengers being aware of the events. You have branded these gentlemen liars. You have intimated their criminal guilt. In our British courts of law, that is what is termed a baseless accusation. I know I was rash to put this idea forward without any actual evidence, but you can't just dismiss it without a second thought. What are we wasting time for? Get them to testify!
Oh, I thought there was something fishy about that hat from the moment I laid eyes on the fellow.
We have to see this matter through now, one way or another.
If there's filth and rubbish in our midst, we must dispose of it at once. Oh god. What's happening, Mr. Naruhodo? The spectators in the public gallery they're in a complete frenzy.
Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First. My lord? You will take the stand again and make another formal testimony in reference to the indictment brought by the defense. Yes, my lord.
I didn't come here for this.
There's no time to think this through. All I can do is keep pushing forward. Typo. All right, witness testimony refuting the accusation. Well, I think that's actually about time.
I think that's about the end of the stream right there. After that riot. They're rioting because I'm ending the stream. Yeah, I think that's a really good stopping point. We're at 4 hours here, and that's usually how long I go for. So, yeah, I'll be playing more of this tomorrow, though. I will. And we'll, I don't know, maybe we'll finish the case? Who knows? I don't know how far I am. I really don't. I have no idea. He was throwing it back, wasn't he? Yes, he was. The hat guy.
Trying to distract the court with his booty.
Riot time postponed, yeah. More rioting henceforth tomorrow. You know what's a flaming outrage? That goddamn Waluigi thing you got on your face. But otherwise, thank you all very, very much for hanging out with me today. I appreciate it very, very much. We riot at dawn, yes. We riot at 8:30 p.m. Central Time tomorrow when I'm back with more Ace Attorney Chronicles. Let me find somebody to raid before I say goodnight. But my social media is right there. I'm most active on Twitter and YouTube. We also have a Discord open to anybody if you'd like to join. And there are the raid messages if you want to join in with that tonight. But yeah, like I said, I'll be back tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. Playing some more Ace Attorney, continuing episode 3. And otherwise, I hope y'all have a wonderful night. And I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.